Welcome back, everybody. Take a break for Stephen Shamus. Mr.
Good to see you,
Stephen.
my friend. What's on your
Always a
shirt, by
pleasure.
the way?
This
What's
is
going on?
my
What's going on?
my New Jersey Avengers Con Miss Marvel t-shirt.
Oh, let me see it. Stand up a little bit. Where'd you get that one?
That was a Marvel booth exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con.
That's a fantastic shirt, by the way.
Yeah, it's great. It's a baseball
Okay.
tee. I don't do baseball tees normally, but
Got it. And I watched Andor.
haven't watched it yet.
Far.
I haven't watched it. It's 3
All right,
hours,
no
so
spoilers.
yeah,
No
yeah.
spoilers.
That'll be a movie tonight.
Okay, got it. All right, so what do we got this week, Alex?
Jumping into the Marvel universe yet again because they just keep making waves. We're gonna talk a little Namora, which is brand new for us. We're gonna talk, and I'm probably gonna butcher this. Guy, maybe Gia. We're gonna talk the leader.
A tragedy to them, but a day I praise, a day of awakening, of destiny. A day when I soon found myself at the mercy of the residue of that same unpredictable gamma radiation. The day I was reborn as a leader. And to my resulting unsurpassed intellect.
And we're gonna talk Sabra, not the hummus, the character.
Ah, that's good. It's good one, Alex. All right, what are we starting with today, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk about Namora. Interesting.
So I mean, obviously a lot of stuff came out of D23. We're going to try to cover some of that stuff here, what we think is going to be in the films and what we think we're going to see. And Namora is a character that we think is going to be in Wakanda forever, just based on the previews and everything else that we've seen. Talk a little bit about the character, Namora.
Yeah, she's actually been around just as long as Namor. She's a Golden Age character. She had her own 3-issue Golden Age comics. Try to find them. You'll never be able to find them. They're extremely rare. But she obviously became more prevalent in the Silver Age and the Bronze Age and the Modern Age, 90s and stuff, as kind of like the cousin to Namor. She kind of has the same backstory. They're not blood related. And she has the same kind of powers. Her father was an Atlantean and her mother was a human, had the baby, and Namora. And also their names both mean like avenging son and avenging daughter. So like they're very closely related to each other, Namor and Namorda. But she's been around, and which is funny because we've talked about Agents of Atlas before, and she is a member of Agents of Atlas, and we've got a lot of characters that are Agents of Atlas now in the MCU. So a little tidbit.
Right. So these books have been flying, obviously. Submariner number 33, January of 1971. So not a lot of big grades out there. 2 9.8s, 15 9.6s, 15 9.4s, 5 9.2s, and 9 9.0. So even above 9.0, there's less than 100. I mean, 50, 30, 35, 37. There's only 46 copies graded 9.0 or higher.
Yeah.
In VF, it's about a $40 to $50 book raw. Very, very hard to find graded in any grade. Dr. Dorcas, Krang, and Byra appearance, Namor and Dorma get engaged, Roy Thomas story, Sal Buscema and Jim Mooney art with a Sal Buscema and Marie Severin cover. Then you should take a look at What If, number 9, from June of 1978, 22 9.8s, 35 9.6s. That's about a $25 to $40 raw book in VF condition. Again, not a lot of high grades from 1978. Don Glutt's story, Alan Kuperberg and Bill Black art with a Jack Kirby and Joe Sinnott cover. Then the next book to look at is Agents of Atlas number 4 from January of 2007. There are 5 9.8s. It's $150 to $200 raw book. Jeff Parker story, Leonard Kirk and Chris Justice art, Tom Corker cover. So that book is already 150 to 200 raw.
Yeah.
2007. That has her on the cover. And then Atlantis Attacks number 1, the Ji Young Lee 1 in 50 variant cover that has her on the cover, came out in March of 2020. There are only 16 9.8s. It's about $100 raw. 9.8 just sold for $225, but those are probably going to be on the way up. She's on the cover. Not a lot of books for them to get signed. Greg Pak story, Ario Anindito art with the Ji Young Lee cover. So that covers Namora. What's the next MCU piece, Alex?
Ga. Giah or Gia.
Right.
Your choice.
So
Dealer's choice.
Right. So the rumors that she's going to be played by Emilia Clarke.
Yep.
We don't know for sure. That has absolutely driven up the value of these books. Talk a little bit about the character and why we think Emilia Clarke is playing that character.
So the whole point of Secret Invasion is that the Skrulls are secretly trying to take over the Earth by impersonations and, killing high-level people like mayors and senators and everything. This character in the book is a Skrull agent who her and another Skrull agent come to Earth and try to infiltrate the U.S. government. A badass agent of the Skrulls who is, on Earth, been on Earth for a while and kind of acting. I think people are pushing it that way because the way Emilia Clarke looks in the trailer looks like she's fighting against somebody. And I know the rumors were like Agent Brand for a while, but that doesn't really make sense in the play of the trailer. So this is a really good get and probably a smart move that she is a Skrull.
Right. And these books have flown obviously since the announcement. Meet the Skrulls #1, May of 2019. There are 63 9.8s. That's about $150 plus book. It's got a Marcos Martin cover. I love Marcos Martin. Robbie Thompson story with Nico Henrichsen art. I like Nico's work too. Then there's the Scotty Young variant cover. There are 19 9.8s. That's a $20 to $25 raw book. Then you have the Ben Mendelsohn photo movie 1 in 10 variant cover. Not as popular because it's the photo cover of Ben. So unless you want Ben to possibly sign it, it's not the cover that you're going to buy for Emilia. There are 6 9.8s. It's about $150 book, but $15 to $20 raw. Then you start getting into some very expensive versions. The Declan Shelby 1 in 25 variant cover. There are 9 9.8s. Those are about $425, and they're about $125 raw. Then there's the Nico Henrichsen 1 in 50 variant cover. Those are 48 9.8s. Those are about $650 in 9.8, $250 to $275 in 9.6. And then the Marcos Martin second print cover, June of 2019. There are 11 9.8s only. Those are $30 to $40 raw. So Meet the Skrulls #1 is the book you want to get. And if Emilia Clarke becomes Gaia or however we pronounce it, you're going to see a massive movement on this book.
These were not highly ordered books. These miniseries for bigger crossovers, not highly ordered.
Definitely not. All right, Alex's pick of the week. What do you got, Alex?
Hey, I want to talk about Spumco, which was the company that John Krasinski, one of the co-creators of Ren and Stimpy, created after Ren and Stimpy. And it was a company that he had that was essentially they would do animated shorts for advertising. They were doing toys and stuff. And one of the things that I found over the weekend was a cool thing, and I don't know how broad it was because LA is a very animation town. It's a lot of artists here, a lot of animators for a lot of studios mainly live in the California area. But it was a Hanna-Barbera animation cell paint your own kit, and there was one for Huckleberry Hound, one for Yogi Bear. And these things are cool because if you're into animation, it gives you a kit and you can paint by numbers to make your own animation cell. But it's also original John K. art of Hanna-Barbera characters, which probably haven't been used because it was a license they bought, and Hanna-Barbera is not going to use that licensed art to sell anything. So these things have like really nice backgrounds, really nice art, and it's I don't think that they're widely available. There's a couple on eBay for like $30, but I think if you break it down, when you see,
are you going to show us a picture of what this
it'll be right here. Yeah, you'll see it.
Okay,
I'll do the Yogi Bear and the Huckleberry Hound. I just don't think that they're, stuff like that where it was probably sold in art stores, not in like a comic shop or a bookstore. This is like it's an art store thing. It's a tryout kit. Just rare, hard to find.
Cool, very cool. All right, great. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
The Leader, Samuel Stearns, coming back for us.
Yeah, we think that character is going to be played by Tim Black Nelson in Captain America: New World Order.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the book is from 1965. That first depicts him. We don't know what's going to happen on the later issues, like which are the key issues, which are the key covers. That sort of hasn't played itself out yet. But we just wanted to make you aware of the leader. Maybe start looking into some back issues with him on the cover. Tales to Astonish number 63 is the first appearance. Talk a little bit about the leader, Samuel Stearns, and why we think Tim Black Nelson is a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, he was the leader in the last Incredible Hulk movie. They're bringing in a character that has already been played and hinted at in the last Incredible Hulk movie. He gets in the last movie, he's helping Bruce Banner along. He's giving him information. He gets a little bit of the bannerized blood dripped onto him, the gamma radiation, and it looks like he's turning into leader, and then they kind of cut it away. It was like an after credits thing. So bringing him in here would be awesome, because those movies are in the MCU canon, and one of the oldest villains in the Marvel universe is the leader, and he's been around forever. Just a super smart gamma radiated person. He can, he's just one of like the smartest people in the MCU. I think he's probably like MODOK and him and maybe somebody else. But fun to have him come back because that actor's awesome. He's fun at everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Brother Without Thou, he was good in that. He's one of the guys.
Oh yeah, I like that movie. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so Tales to Astonish number 63, January of 1965. 2 9.8s, 6 9.6s, 13 9.4s, 19 9.2s, and 30 9.0s. That means there's only 32, 38, 51, 70 books that are 9.0 or better. Yeah. So a 9.2 sold for $3,200, a 7.0 sold for $600, a 6.5 sold for $500, and just a fine raw book sold for about $150. Origin and first full appearance of the leader, Samuel Stearns, Giant Man, Wasp pinup, Stan Lee story, Steve Ditko artwork, Jack Kirby cover. That's kind of the trifecta of greatness there. Lee, Kirby, and Ditko, Alex.
Classic trifecta. Can't get any better than that.
I know. That's it. All right. What are we closing out with today, Alex?
Sabra.
Right. So Sabra is also going to be played by an Israeli actress who I'm looking up right now while we're on the phone, while we're on the thing. So talk a little bit about the actress, talk a little bit about the character, and then I'm going to give you the actress name in 2 seconds. Yeah,
she was a interesting character because she is kind of more of a background character. She, again, another Hulk kind of character. She in Incredible Hulk is where she first appeared. She is an Israeli superhero, and she is a mutant who possesses like superhuman abilities, kind of like Captain America. She's fast. She can run fast. She can lift. She's almost nigh invulnerable. She's just her body's enhanced. She can also charge individuals by transferring her energy to them, her life energy, which is an interesting take. But it's interesting because they're really starting to go into like these different kind of worlds. I mean, the character is part of she's an Israeli Jew, and she's part of what's the name of the CIA?
The Mossad.
That's it. She was a part of that. She's part of the Mossad. So a very interesting character.
So she was in a show called Unorthodox, and she was fantastic. Shira Haas. She was on a show called Unorthodox. She was amazing in that series. She's going to be great in this role. Awesome. So again, it's an older book. I don't know what the modern era appearances are yet, but these are the books I'd be looking at for now, but I would look at some modern era as well. Incredible Hulk number 250, August of 1980, 121 9.8s. Again, Hulk was a heavily printed title, so it's not unusual that these 9.8s are a little bit higher. 128 9.6s. It's about a $300 book in 9.6. Silver Surfer appearance, Fantastic Four, Submariner, Sabra, Captain Britain, and Arabian Nights cameos. So she was a cameo in this book. Bill Mantlo story, Sal Buscema art with an Al Milgrom cover. Then first full appearance of Sabra, Ruth Bat Saraf, is Incredible Hulk number 256, February of 1981. So it was 6 issues later. 29.8s. These numbers are going to start to jump now. 23 9.6s, 9 9.4s, 8 9.2s, and 6 9.0s. Now again, you're a 40-something-year-old book, but people aren't exactly sending these in every day.
Not at all.
To sell a 9.4 or 9.6 for $100 or $200. Now different story.
Yeah.
A 9.6 just sold for $275. Those are going to be going up. Those are $40 to $50 raw in very fine condition. And it's got a John Romita cover too, so that's actually pretty cool. So we did basically all Marvel film stuff this week. That's on fire. And again, you're going to look for some later appearances too, but you're not going to start to see those movements until you see which iteration of the character is actually going to appear in the film.
If the costume, which it looks like, you can see more.
Right, 100%. All right. Well, we thank you for joining us this week. We appreciate your time. We will see everybody. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the field below. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.